All right, peeps, welcome back. This is our theology section for K-pop demon hunters. Bet you didn't think we'd be talking about Bible verses with a K-pop film, but here we are. So here are 4 verses or passages that we're going to encourage you to maybe check out in relation to the movie, like we said, given the themes and kind of to the process that Josh talked about of like slowing down our consumption and engaging in that sanctification is going to Scripture and kind of letting that help us sift through some stuff. So our 4 passages are Romans 3. So this is Paul kind of going in on us and being like, nobody's righteous. And if you think you are, you're not. No, because no one is. Psalm 139, which we're actually going to read and talk about a little bit more, which is about us being fearfully and wonderfully made and God knowing us in all of our parts. John 15:13, which talks about, and I think it is literally just this, greater love has none than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. So Jesus talking to the disciples, just making it super clear how powerful it is to be in community and especially in deep friendship and the power that it has. And then lastly, another Paul verse, 2 Corinthians 12:9, and this is him talking about his weaknesses and the thorn in his side and how his power is made perfect in our weakness. So kind of like we said with Rumi and all the things that she was dealing with and the film's narratives that, you know, a lot of people in the film thought that nobody was righteous but unrighteous but them, but kind of devolved from there and they had to deal with it. So we're going to jump to Psalm 139, which is one of those verses. We're going to read through it and just kind of talk through some of that, maybe connect it to some of our other movie parts. But you want to read it?
Yeah,
go for it.
Thing. So Psalm 139 says, "You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the light has become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, I am still with you. If only you, God, would slay the wicked. Away from me, you who are bloodthirsty. They speak of you with evil intent. Your adversaries misuse your name. Do I not hate those who hate you, Lord, and abhor those who are in rebellion against you? I have nothing but hatred for them. I count them as my enemies. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting."
Whew. This is a doozy. So if you're going through an identity crisis, this is the verse to read. But before we get too deep into it, what stands out to you in this passage that you feel like either connects to the film or connects to some of the stuff that we've been talking about this last episode?
I think the idea of being fully known by God, if we could go back and make K-pop Demon Hunters like a fully like life to Christian thing, this is like the perfect answer to what Rumi and our mentor were struggling through, in that she is known as this pop idol, and she's known as this hunter with like 2 of her closest friends, but she's not really known. Mm-hmm. They don't really know her because she's constantly hiding this self, and she wants to be known by them. She wants this whole thing to be over, but it's not. And for those that identify with that, to say, I have people around me that think they know me, that are the closest people to me, but they don't know me. And I want them to know me, but I want to like clean out this thing in myself first before I let people in. This is like the ultimate answer of that. I already know. Like, God knows everything. You go up to heaven, he knows where you are. You go down to hell, he knows where you are. It doesn't matter. Like, for you to be afraid, like, this is such a common thing for people to say, I'll come to God, but I want to make myself better first. I want to clean all this up. God already knows you anyway. It's not like he didn't see it and now it's like, oh, you're so clean. Yes, come on in. This is like the answer to people that are struggling with being known, is that you're already fully known before you even knew that there was something wrong.
Okay, I have maybe a doozy. So I wonder, and this is not to downplay, because I do think people spiritually absolutely have that feeling of like, if God is as holy and as good and as all these things as he says he is, I don't know how I'm going to show up well. Like, I don't feel like that's possible. I will speak from my experience where I don't necessarily feel that, but I feel that feeling about his people and how they're going to show up and treat me. And so, truthfully, I've been really wrestling with some of these themes, and that's why this movie was kind of like a hit in the gut, because I was like, oh, like I've been going through it, trying to like navigate some of this like identity and who you are and who God knows you to be, and him not making mistakes, but also feeling to like what Rumi's feeling like, but here I am, and there's all these things that aren't going right because of the stuff that happened, will happen, is happening, like all that stuff. And I think what strikes me about the movie is that one of the reasons Rumi hides all those things is, yes, because of the coaching of her mentor, but also because she doesn't want to face her friends if they know. And I think there's almost that's not true. I don't want to say it's harder to be fully authentic with other people than it is with God, but I think I've been really struggling recently where it's like, I know God doesn't make mistakes, but I'm afraid to show up in front of people as my full self because of what they might do. Not necessarily what God's going to do. I get it. He's the man. Like, all praises be. Like, it's good.
Yeah.
But with other people, like, how do you think that fits into us wrestling with a chapter like this and maybe finding peace and not, even if like, I forgot the name of the like demon fire king's name, but Guima, his voice was kind of that scratchy voice, like, you don't deserve this, you're not good, we get it. But then there's also, I think that can take on other people around us, where it's like, that person said this thing and it just kind of sticks to me, and it's like hard to scrub off. So what would you do with this verse, or how would you encourage someone to like deal with some of that?
Yeah, no, I think you hit it right on the head. It can be really hard when we talk about God being able to see you, but you can't necessarily see God. You see the people that are supposed to represent him.
Yeah.
And you can see the looks on people, or you can see their reaction, but you don't necessarily see God's, like in the same way that you would see theirs face to face.
Yeah.
And even in the film too, like seeing the reaction of the other girls when they saw her scar or her patterns. That makes a lot of sense. I think the best I could do to try to encourage someone in this is like, first, like, apologize. Like, I'm sorry that the church has been represented like that to you. That's not how we should be, and that's not how like we should be representing Christ to others. And that at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of us say, like, regardless of what man thinks, this is what God says. And so we have to build ourselves off of what's harder to see sometimes, and that's like what God says about it. And so going off of this too, like, we want to be built on the one that actually, like it says here, like the one who put us together in our mother's wombs. Like, as much as we want people around us to like us, they weren't counting all the hairs on my head, and they weren't the ones that put me together. We have to, as difficult as it is, and I know it's easier to say than to do, but we have to turn our attention and turn our, like, what we want to draw approval from the one that we can't see, rather than the people that we can. And that's, I definitely get that it's hard, because I can definitely be more of a people pleaser. Like, I want people to agree with this as well. But yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think, I'm just even running through all the different like ways that this could be lived out differently through us as one. Like, if this is told to us as believers when we're reading individually, this is how we probably should start learning to show up and seeing other people, where it's like, okay, if someone is a certain way or whatever, like, yes, there's personality habits, but also, like, that is someone that God designed intentionally. And so, like, maybe chill out on the like they're wrong and bad. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Need to get fixed. But then I think on our end too, like even the question that came to my mind that I feel like I've got to sit and ask the Lord now is like, okay, I get the whole idea of like, I want the approval of man. And I think everyone gets that concept, but almost the like deep spiritual reason, like why is your voice not enough? Like why do I crave their voices so bad versus like, you know, it's different. I think if you're in the thick of it and you're kind of like, oh yeah, like I just need to listen to God and, you know, not other people. But when you're like, no, but I know I'm not supposed to listen to them, but it's like a bad addiction. It's like a sanctuary, right? Whatever. You saw what I did. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, what's like one spiritual habit for you that you found to be really helpful to just like reorder your identity and when it gets out of whack to whatever degree?
I think it's important to have like calibration sessions with God, and that might be a weird way to say it, but that's just how I picture it.
I dig that.
That's how I picture it. Like sometimes
click on the screen, set the colors right.
You got to recalibrate, or like the joystick's out of whack. You need to
dude.
recalibrate it, get it right back to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And so like whether it might look different every time, like it might be just centering back on Scripture that I know tells me who God says He is and who God says I am, rather than like what I might think in the moment, or whether that's like just being honest with God, just having a conversation like, this is how I feel, and I know that I shouldn't feel this way, or that this is not correct, but this is how I feel. And like God can do more through like my wanting to do it correctly than me not doing anything in fear of what'll happen. So that's the way I try to recalibrate, because I'm like, even if I'm not doing this the right way, at least I'm giving God something to work with, rather than if I don't do anything.
Totally.
I'm not giving him any driftwood. I'm not giving him anything to work with here. So
no, that's great. Like and I think, whole theme of this episode has been being intentional in seeking and slowing down and going through the process versus like numbing and going out. And some of that recalibration is intentional. Like you could just keep playing video games with your busted joystick. Yeah. You could, but it's not going to go well. Yeah. And so like having to actually take the time to do that is great. So
totally.
Dude, this has been fun. I saw your ride pop in the window here a second ago, so I don't want you to get left behind. But any other thoughts? Otherwise, we'll just close it out and call it a day.
K-pop Demon Hunters is great. I love that they're not super obvious, and the fact that they just didn't let. Oh, I'll say one last thing too. I love, and now that you finished the movie, I can say this too. I love that they didn't go down the basic children's movie route and everything gets fixed.
Yeah.
Like her scars didn't disappear.
Yeah.
Like I love that didn't. I love that their patterns didn't go away. I love that. I really wanted Ginu to live, but I love that they didn't go down the obvious route and everything just worked out magically, because that made it feel like an actually grounded film. I feel like the whole message would have slightly been watered down if everything had just worked out.
100%.
And I love that it didn't. And even the fact that they left things open, like with the mentor, like we said earlier, love it.
Oh, there's a sequel coming.
I know. Did you see there's two? There's two.
What?
No, two, and then unfortunately, there was a, what's it called?
Live action.
But then I think they took it back, so I was like, thank God. I don't want to see a live action of that. But yeah, they have two more sequels. And they're supposed to be one of them is supposed to be a prequel, like how the Hunter's been. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Check it out. Buy into the lore. It's a good time. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you all on the next Parable Arrows podcast.
This episode was produced by Josh Erickson, Josh Cook, and Femi Shokwara, and edited by Josh Erickson. Our social media producer is Colton Mefford. We are currently self-supported. You can check out short stories, merch, and highlighted creators at parablearrows.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Parable Arrows, or support us on Patreon. Thank you for listening to the Parable Arrows podcast. Think, move in faithfulness, and trust God. Pull back, aim high, let it fly.